One. What's going on, all you truth seekers out there?
Yes.
It's me once again, Krayzie Bone, a.k.a. Cray Jack, your boss.
I am the California Bum Keef G. You know what it is.
And welcome back to another episode of Truth Talks. Now, tonight we got we have very special guests in the video.
Very.
You know, and for everybody that's familiar with our podcast, you know, we like to bring you topics that are very meaningful.
Right.
We're not going to be talking about who's beefing with who.
Nah, man.
Who's sleeping with who.
Nah,
who
man.
got arrested. None of that stuff on
Nah,
here.
man.
We like to bring y'all the topics that uplift, inspire, but more than anything, educate people.
That's right.
So on that note, we got some very special guests in the building. And would you brothers introduce yourselves, man?
Yeah.
I'm K-Dub.
Fred Martin, the founder of the Compton Kidz Club.
Yes, indeed.
Man.
Thank y'all for being here this evening, man. And I just want to say that when I did the research on what you brothers been doing, what these young ladies been doing, it's incredible.
Thank you.
It's really incredible. And Keith's been telling me about this for a while. Like, man, we got to get them on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad we got a chance to make it happen. But for everybody that don't know what this Compton Kidz Club is about, could you please break it down to them, please?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, first of all, man, Krayzie, thank y'all for having us.
Yes,
Word,
indeed.
man,
Please.
You know what I mean? Like, this is, out of all the things that we've done, this is our very first radio interview.
Okay. All right. So welcome to Truth Talks.
Whatever they go on to do in life, this is the first time we was ever on the radio right here.
Man, that's what's happening, man. We gonna cherish that monumental moment, you know?
Yeah,
Yes,
so we got to
sir.
make this interesting there.
Yes, sir.
Real
So basically, I'm a native of Compton.
Okay.
You know, I grew up in Compton, and just kind of seeing, you know, the homies with nothing to do, hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw the difference between what a person with constructive, you know, programming ended up and without. You know, not knowing all these things was planting like a seed inside of me to do what I'm doing right now. So, you know, I got out of school kind of early, start teaching in school early, playing in the church, playing organ in the church. So music and stuff was always a part of my life. But I kind of saw, you know, start teaching young, and I kind of saw what it could really do for their future, but also the bureaucracy in schools and different things that, you know, the difference between a kid having support, different between a kid not having support, how it affected their future.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it kind of inspired me to get really heavy into philanthropy, right? And so, you know, so the organization that I started was Urban Entertainment Institute. And out of that, I would create these kind of brands because, you know, I never did a fundraiser in philanthropy. You know, I would always teach and use the skills to bring awareness.
Yes.
Right? So in 2015, I came back home and started, you know, doing after school programming in Compton. Right? And a couple of them was some of the first ones that I ran into at Vanguard Middle School.
Okay.
When I first started.
Okay.
And man, they were so committed and dedicated. So basically, we're offering singing, dancing, modeling, you know, acting, and more importantly, mentorship and life coaching.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tell them we don't teach, you know, I don't teach music, but I teach what?
Life through music.
Teach life through music.
Man,
you
that's
know?
the biz right there.
You know, so that's kind of an overview of what's happening. So as a result of that, man, it's just, you know, it done changed and saved, you know, many, many, many lives. So,
Yes.
Right.
yeah, that's an overview of it.
Man, that's way out, man. Look, before we even skip over this word, I mean, this is just word because some people listening may not even know what philanthropy is. And you know what? It's a good situation to be in. Some people want to be a philanthropist, but don't know what that is. Talk to them about even that kind of situation because it seems discouraging to even be one, you know?
Yeah, well, you know what? Me and K-Dub was just talking in the car the other day. And you have, like, what you have, the nouveau riche and the noble oblige. So you have these newly rich, you know, who's first generation rich. Your entertainers.
New money.
Money, right?
Right.
And the nobles basically frown down on it's an education to being wealthy, right? And so the biggest thing that I could tell you about philanthropy is this, that new money feels that being a philanthropist or giving to charity diminishes your wealth. Like somebody is begging from them.
Right.
But the nobles and the old money believe that when you give to charity, it sustains your wealth.
Right.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
And that's why the new money you can have this person is wealthy and their mom is poor. This person is wealthy and their brother's on welfare. New money. Old money, their roaches are rich.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They insects are rich.
Everything
They
rich.
six cousins is
Everything
rich.
rich.
Because it's an education to it, right? And so what we have to understand, philanthropy was created by the wealthy.
Yeah.
Right.
As a way to keep their money within themselves, in-house, at the same time, helping their community.
Right.
Right. And that's something that we haven't really caught on to recycle and give back. And it's not like it's something that's being taken away from me, but it's actually sustaining that wealth.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Principles, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's why I asked that question. I wanted to hear that myself.
Yes, indeed, man. But I must say, I like the fact that you being from Compton, that you went back there, and like you're showing the world that there's more to Compton than what you heard on the records. Because one thing I heard when y'all was on the Steve Harvey show, and it's true, like back in the day, me coming from the hood and way in Cleveland, Ohio. Right. The only way we learned about other communities was through the music and the videos, and they didn't. The picture wasn't painted. The picture wasn't
pretty
painted.
Clear.
I was like,
pretty picture.
I'm going to visit Compton this summer. Oh no, I'm staying away from that. You know what I'm saying? So when we came out here, of course, you wanted to go down there and visit and see how it was, but it's important to show people that it's way more than that.
Yeah.
It's way more than that, so they won't be so scared or like had this stereotype to where nothing good comes from there. When you definitely proving them wrong. Definitely proving them wrong. Definitely.
That's our whole mission, to prove them wrong, show them a side they ain't never saw before.
Yes, indeed, man.
But it seems like you guys even are effortlessly doing it, because it's like, it's not like you, from what I've seen, it's not like you're going out to make that point, even though maybe in your heart it's like, I'm going to prove that point, but it doesn't look like, we trying to recreate what Compton looks like or what it see. Y'all just doing y'all thing that God bless y'all to do, G, and it's shining through y'all and through them ladies. That's what I was telling my mom. I couldn't get enough of it, you know what I'm saying, on the reals, G, because everything is negative these days, especially with the youth. A lot of things have changed. I don't blame anybody. A lot of our society, we've dropped a little bit of the ball. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, we used to take our kids to church. It was mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Now we asking them if they want to go. You know what I'm saying? But we'll get into that kind of thing on another day.
Right.
But,
right.
a lot of fabric has been torn. So I'm just proud to see this kind of situation, G, because it still lets me know there's a glimmer of hope. This is like that crack through the light sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Man, definitely. And like I said, everything I seen, through, the girl stories and everything, it really inspired me to be like, yo, I need to be doing more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really inspired me, like, to want to get up to make me realize that more needs to be done from everybody. Like,
you hit something. You said that we're effortlessly doing it, right?
Yeah.
And really what it is just authentic, right? Right. Because honestly, we really are just doing what we do
organically.
You know what I mean? And I think the difference is, Dub and I talk every day, right?
Right.
And so, I was sharing with him how when David slew Goliath, he had so much confidence that he was going to do this, right? And it was crazy because Saul knew he was going to do it too.
Yeah.
And Saul wanted some credit. He was like, put on my armor.
Right.
And David tried to be obedient and like put on his armor. He was like, this junk don't fit.
It don't even
Where
fit
my slingshot at?
Right.
Yeah.
You know
remember
what I
his
mean?
brothers too? Remember his brothers? How much grief they gave him?
Exactly.
Ain't you got some sheep to be tending to?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And his own brothers.
His own brothers.
Some work, too.
Yeah, you got some sheep to be tending to?
But here was the catch that I'm talking about is like this. David had so much confidence because he said this. He said, hey, when I was a shepherd, I slew a bear with my bare hands. I slew a lion with my bare hands. So he already knew he could do it. But here's the difference. The cameras wasn't on him.
Right.
He had been doing what he'd been doing all along, but the cameras wasn't on him. These kids are amazing. We doing what we do. The difference is now we on the radio talking about it.
And the cameras
Millions
on.
of people. And now the cameras are
cameras
on. If the cameras wasn't, we still gonna kill the
anyway.
lion. We
That's
still
right.
gonna, you understand? If the cameras ain't there, we still gonna do what we do. But now God is saying, now is your time.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? To shine, and that's I love what you say. It's like it's not a plan to do what we do. We I've been doing this for 20 years.
So how did you meet all these young ladies? How did you meet them, and what was the process of?
I was driving down the street and I saw them on this. I was like, "Oh, poor baby, come here. You want to come down?" I'm just playing.
Man.
No, what? Honestly, my business was contracted with Compton Unified School District to do after school programs, which is non-existent in a lot of places. Good after school programming, and so Tanae and Vivi, they were like the first ones at Vanguard. And then we moved over to Enterprise. So it's really through the after-school programming that we met them all. This is an after-school program. This is not something that, some paid thing with formal training and stuff. These kids were coming after school and have accomplished this, by coming to an after-school program.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And I heard you singing. Y'all have beautiful voices.
Beautiful.
Definitely. I was like, man, they're supposed to be on the radio.
Man, for real, though.
We are.
Oh, yeah.
He is, you know what I'm saying? I swear, Trip, ladies, I do want to, not even break up stuff because we do, it's going to be a mix of things, but, did want to know, how did it feel even to be doing something that was, like a song, with Jay Hudson, you know what I'm saying? Jennifer Hudson, that's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Come on in the mic real quick and talk about that if y'all want to.
It was really crazy because the song is called I'll Fight, and that's really what we're all about. Like, I'll fight for you. I'll do what's right, and I'm going to stand up for you.
Man, that's crazy. And that was nominated for a Grammy, it was? Oscar. Sometime Academy Awards, G.
Yeah.
You hang around long enough. I'm telling you, you don't know what God gonna do sometimes. Me and Krayzie, we talking in the car a little bit, earlier, and I was asking him a question even too of thinking and I didn't mean for it to be too sensitive, but sometimes the pain that you may go through or the things you may go through may bring you to the point of just where you at. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people will be like, I don't really want that. Well, hell, who don't want some pain? Nobody really wants that. But after you go through it, as you're going through now, you see, because I've heard of some of your stories, I've seen some of your things, of suicide kind of situations and some way out things, G. You know what I'm saying? For heavy on young ladies like this. So to come from that and then I heard the bright side of you guys, you know what I'm saying where you come from and where you at now. I would never do that, you know what I'm saying, now. Right. That's nothing but God, but I'm glad as young people you were able to reciprocate that, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people miss it because, see, timing is so long. God don't wear no watch, and it's hard for us to wait on him, but you guys have been patient. I know it's been hard, but, man, I commend y'all, man. That's on the reels.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're in harmony too. We got
just in harmony. Hey, that's how it is. So what's the overall like? What's the end game for you with this whole?
Yeah,
it ain't no end.
That's the beginning.
And that's why I ask everybody. Because like, if a person give me an end game, they ain't really got no plan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I say. And that's when people ask me that, I be like, man. When they ask me what's my end game, I tell them. Death.
Yeah,
right. That's the end game.
That's the end game. That's
what I'm saying?
Hey, I was in this meeting, man, and this cat asked me, he said, what's your 5-year plan? I said, you want me to BS you and prove to you that I know how to answer that question because you went to college? Or you want me to give you the real answer?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so he looking, and everybody in the meeting, because he was a big guy, everybody in the meeting like, did he just tell you? Yeah, I said, so basically, if I follow my 5-year plan, you and I wouldn't be here talking because you wasn't in it.
Wow.
Man. See, and that's dope right there.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So see, because you don't know who you're going to meet next month.
Right.
That might be instrumental in leading you to where your next big break is. You see what I'm saying?
Man.
So when you say, what's the end game, man, you know what? I'm going to be obedient to God. And, not saying we don't have a plan, because the Bible do say without a vision the people perish. But, but I can answer this. We have this show, Compton Kidz Club, which is going to be like an urban Mickey Mouse club meets Soul Train meets High School Musical.
Man.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's dope.
That's tight right there.
And out of that, see, because what's happening, we don't have platform for our kids, right? So when you take a thing like the Compton Kidz Club, like a Mickey Mouse Club variety situation, each one of these bad boys got a chance to shine.
Yeah.
Every last one of them, where you're not just favoring this one. But every last one of them got an opportunity to shine. So the big thing is to get this show, because guess what? Whereas people we're trying to get out of Compton, they're going to try to get in Compton because they're going to want to be a part of the Compton Kidz Club. You want to break your kid in the industry, we got to get them on the Compton Kidz Club because we're going to have the eyeballs.
Man.
You understand what I mean?
Right.
Again, showing that there is some good coming out of Compton.
Yes, indeed.
And even with that kind of scheme and plan, not even a scheme because that's a hustle, but with this kind of plan that you guys got like that, it's like, because for years I want to, even you guys to see people in different lights. the things and the images and the people and the stuff that they give us to look at and emulate is way out. Them ain't even the choices we'd even want. Those are just the things that's forced on us. So I'm glad to see this kind of thing. So little girls may want to be like you guys, you know, because everything from my scene, y'all some warriors, you know, and all that kind of situation. Whether you feel like it or not, you know, those are words that just pour into you because sometimes you may not feel, you know, you tell somebody they're beautiful, they say, all right, because they may be broke or whatever. But, hey, take that kind of stuff in. You know, enjoy those things. Use that as fuel, not to be big-headed, but use it to be like, you know what, I'm going to bring these other young ladies up so they may not have to go through what I went through. Or if they do, they're going to know this is how you can become a champion out of that if you hang out with the Lord about it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all around the right cats, man.
Yeah, man. We was trying to give them something they haven't had before and something that we didn't have, fam. We lack the instruments of our older peers, you know, coming trying to show us something different and teach us something different. We had to sort of stumble into the game our own way, and then at that we taking the bumps and the bruises along the way with no instructions, you know what I'm saying? So it was sort of bad.
Yeah, man.
You know, it was a little rough. It got better eventually, but, you know, so we just trying to give them the blueprint, you know what I'm saying? Sort of like a roadmap, the way they ain't got to hit no bumps.
Man, that's what's up, man.
Feel me? So to be smooth selling, you know what I'm saying? Go on and do what they got to do.
Little bit.
True talks. And I want to hear from the young ladies, if each one of y'all could tell me how the Compton Kidz Club has changed your lives. And what you love about it. So y'all can go down the line and introduce yourselves. And,
yeah,
you know,
please do.
We got time.
Okay, well, I'm Viviana, but everyone calls me Vivi.
All right.
Fred's giving me his chair. And Compton Kidz Club has definitely changed me because when I first came, I was really, really, really shy and, like, insecure. And I was, like, I felt like, you know, like when you watch movies and, like, the main character, somebody's at a standstill and, like, the whole world is just, like, moving really fast around them. That's how I felt.
Yes.
And I would, like, talk to Fred and I would, like, break down. I'll cry. I'll be like, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. And he helped me past that. Like, he pushed me, and now I'm open and I'm trying to help other people.
Wow. Very, very, you speak very intelligently, you know what I'm saying? That's
Thank you.
Definitely. Okay.
How old are you, Viviana?
I'm 15.
15. Look at there, y'all.
Yes, indeed. Very intelligent. Compton's in the house. What's happening?
Next up to bat?
Yes, indeed.
Right, come on.
What they say on life? You like baseball, Claude? You on deck?
Hi, my name is Tanae.
Tanae.
Compton Kidz Club has changed me because it's made me a more confident and better person. Before, I was in the wrong crowd. I was not with the right people. I was not going in the right direction. But, like, coming here, it's made me, like, know that I could be myself and I don't have to fit in with nobody else. And I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do. And I could just be me. And I love to sing, so it's, like, a bonus.
Man, that's what's happening. How old are you?
I'm 16.
16. Tanea? Did I say that right?
Today,
oh, man.
It's so good to hear, teenagers your age speaking like this, especially in the world we live in today. You know, you being very conscious and able to recognize your mistakes and wanting to change them. That's very good, very good. Next
hey,
up.
Y'all. It's your girl, Tiana, better known as T-Pain.
What's up, Tiana?
T-Pain.
You tell them why you call T-Pain.
Because Fred wanted to give me a nickname.
I wanted to give you a
He
nickname.
wanted to give me a nickname because I guess I'm a pain in his butt.
Okay.
But the Compton Kidz Club changed me because I was always in some mess, fights, and before I joined Fred's, I was hanging around, like, bad people that was just really, like, not even like the bad y'all know, like it was bad.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
when I joined the program, Fred, he would always push me to be the better version of myself.
Right.
But I will always turn it down because I didn't want to do anything. Like I wanted to be in a group, but I didn't want to do the things he said because I was hard-headed. But he taught me to just follow what I love to do and keep on doing it. And he motivates me, like, to be, like, the better version of me, like, regardless. Just because Fred, and I love him so much.
Yeah, that's right.
That's dope.
You know?
I love you back.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Hey, that's real. I know y'all can't see us. There was no slippage of money for none of those compliments. You know what I'm saying? This is real. This is real action, y'all.
That's lovely. Lovely.
Who up to bat, darling? What's your name?
Hi, my name is Ruby, and I joined the Compton Kidz Club when I had barely started middle school, and I was scared because, like, you know, elementary school is a whole nother, like, thing. And then I saw, like,
It is.
I saw, okay, I don't know what to say. So then I saw, like, fights every day, and I was so confused. And then I didn't know what to do. I was stuck. Like, I was so confused. So then my friend told me about the Compton Kidz Club.
Right.
And I joined, and, like, it was, like, a lot of stuff going on at home. And when I joined, it just completely changed my life because, like, I actually, like, I felt like I had a reason, like, to live because, like, yeah, it's, like, it completely changes your life. And, Fred, like, he teaches us a lot and stuff, and it was really amazing to join the Compton Kidz Club.
Man, that's dope. Ruby, how old are you?
I'm 14.
14 years old, y'all.
Thank you for that testimony.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Come on up, darling. What you doing?
Next
You
up.
moseying on up there.
What's up, guys? My name is McCary, and the way I joined Compton Kidz Club was through T-Pain because one day I was at her house and we had to go to practice for the Compton Kidz Club, and I was like, this is amazing. Like, I want to join. I want to be in it. Like, I want to learn how to sing and become a better dancer because I really like dancing. And ever since I've been in the group, it's just made me realize that I could do more than what I thought I can.
You're gonna leave out that you stalked me on Instagram?
I stalked the group on Instagram.
Wow.
She was
But I'm the youngest.
Persistence.
Listen, she was in my inbox every day. Like, she got so much drive.
Persistent.
It was like she came in the summer, and like her family was about to move like to the Inland Empire. And she told me like a month before, like, they're moving, and I'm not trying to go because I want to stay in the Compton Kidz Club.
Right.
Like, she was plotting to stay. Like, I'm gonna stay with my grandfather. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna like every day. I was like, this
Made
girl,
her a plan.
She got the best personality. Like, she and like when it happened, I think you end up leaving first.
Yeah.
I don't know how she did it, but she got back.
Wow.
How'd you get back? Tell us how you get back, McCary.
She made what happened? Like, she went to live out there and she was gone for months. But even when she was gone, she was still stalking me. I'm just right there. She stayed communicating. Like, even though I'm not
That's
physically
dope.
there, I'm gonna be there.
Yes,
You know what I
indeed.
mean?
What happened was my mom knew I wanted to be in the group, but she didn't want to drive back and forth from the IE to Compton. But she was like, okay, so you can ask Sienna if we could like if you could ride with her sometimes, and that's what we end up doing. And sometimes she'll bring me all the way down, and sometimes I'll ride with T-Pain.
The village, y'all. The village. We
indeed.
talking about it right now.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
It
indeed.
takes one, man. That's real, man.
Yes. I'm loving this. I'm loving it.
Okay, Ariana, come on.
Next up.
Come on, Ariana. Why you had to move in slow motion?
Tell us your name, darling. What's going on?
Hi, my name's Ariana.
Ariana.
And I joined the Compton Kidz Club like after watching one of their performances at our school. They had performed like The Wiz or something. And at that time, I was really like, I didn't know how to do anything. Like, I was like, I want to join. Like, I don't know how to do anything, but I just want to be in it.
Right.
So
You knew it was cracking. She like, I want to get in that.
Wanna
That's
be
right.
there.
So I talked to Ruby, and then Ruby was like, oh, yeah, you should join. And I was scared because I was like, nah, like, they know how to dance. Like, that's a whole different level. But I joined with my 17 left feet, and I was in there. And I stayed in there, and I was practicing. And it's just, like, I don't, like, when I'm in there, I don't have to fit in the crowd. So it's just taught me, like, authenticity. Like, I'm just in there, and it's all real. Like, I don't have to be somebody different. It's not like a new crowd I have to fit in because they became, like, family. So Fred has taught us a lot, but I just feel like when I'm in here, Well, I'm just happy, like it's like family.
Hey man, that's tight to me because
I
at this
feel like you
age,
was about to go deep, and then you cut the deepness off.
but for at this age, girls could be real like cats and stuff for all the acceptance. You talking about 17 left feet? Some of the girls be like, man, get her out of here. She can't do this. But the acceptance and y'all all, it seems like real family. G.
I was thinking like Fred was gonna kick me out. Like, oh no, like we can't. You know? And I mean,
Thought about it. I'm just playing.
I was in like the back for a little bit, but that just motivated me. Like he would put me in the back, like in the corner, and I'll just be like, nah, like I'm gonna get up there. So like then I started getting picked for certain groups, and I just got better.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, she it was so funny because she really, it was bad. Yeah. But as far as her dancing, yeah, it was bad. But it's so funny because the choreographer, but the feeling and the emotion was there. The choreographer would pick her, would pick her over like people who actually could have been more talented, but she was so into it. And now she actually become a good dancer.
All it takes is determination.
Yeah.
You set your mind, you say you want to do something. If you really want to do it, you're going to do it. Real talk. Next up.
My name is London. And I joined the program when I was in 8th grade.
London.
Before I joined, I was like very shy and I didn't talk to nobody. And like I was very insecure about myself, but then when I joined, like it like changed my life, and like Fred actually made me talk to him because I didn't want to talk to nobody.
Right. Oh, man.
And then now that I joined, I became a better person, and like I'm more confident in myself, and like these girls are like my family, and I actually like this program a lot. It's like it changed my life.
That's right, London. Hey, you got over your shyness. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with being shy. You just thinking of stuff good to say. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
And her birthday is the same day as mine, by the way.
Okay.
My birthday.
All right.
Next up to bat, who we got here?
We got one more.
And how old are you two, London? 15. Ariane, how old are you?
I'm 14.
And look, I done messed it up. McCary. 12. McCary been running for senator. I'm 12.
Right.
That's right.
She started stalking young.
Man. Talk to us.
Hi, I'm Natyra. I started the Compton Kidz Club when I was in the 7th grade, and I was like really like. I wouldn't say I was bad. I was like an angel.
Oh, Fred done fell out his seat.
Wasn't that bad, huh?
Yeah, right.
I was like an angel, and Fred just like, he was like, come in my group because I love your energy and you're like the best kid ever. And I was like, okay, Fred, I'm gonna come.
Okay, let's go to the altar on this. We're gonna start altar call. We get some oil and repent on that. Okay, now let's go to your version.
Okay. I'm gonna be a buck with y'all.
Right.
Okay, so I was kind of maybe sort of probably not bad, but yeah. So I was kind of bad. Yeah, I got in like major fights, like, and like
every other day.
Right. 2 weeks at least, right? But yeah, so I got into like a lot of fights, and like Fred just helped me like calm down and like channel my anger that I had inside because of some situations that I was going through. So he helped me channel the anger that I had, and this group really means a lot to me because they like my family and they help me get through things also. Yeah.
So let me interject on this story. I put her out. That's how bad she was.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
She was something else. And yeah, she got put out. And it was she came back one day. I never forget this. It was very hard for me. And she came back and we were sitting in front of the auditorium and she asked to be back in the program. But I knew she wasn't really ready to change. Right. And I said, Natyra, you will, because I said, you will have us put off this campus because stuff they were doing, literally the principal was like, this program is going to be in jeopardy because they would say it's the Compton kids or UEI kids that are doing this stuff. He was like, her. Cutting up. And so I'm like, you will have this program taken away So, no, I said, these kids really need this program. And she looked at me, she was crying. She was like, but I need it too. Mm-hmm. But I knew she wasn't really ready to change, and I had to say no. And so I think we moved on, and it was maybe, how long ago? Like 7 months, 6 months ago, 7 months? About 6 months ago. She was still coming. She started coming with her cousin, T-Pain, and we were out to dinner one day. And something just hit me. Like, I'm looking at her, and I'm just seeing this, like, personality, and just seeing, I was like, you ready to come back? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, and that's really what happened. Like, and now, I mean, just a whole nother person. Just a whole nother person.
Yeah, I had to vote her back in. He was still trying to be stubborn on it. He was trying to be stubborn on it. I like, no, she got swag. We need her. We need her. She gonna act right.
Well, I'm the one who said it.
She's been perfect ever since.
That's what's up, man.
Swag.
Oh.
How old are you too, Natyra?
I'm 14.
That's one thing I was going to ask you. You don't have to ask it a bunch of, individually and something like that. But I was going to think, like, what would you tell the other you right now? You know what I'm saying? The other you that used to be, and you're still growing. There's still going to be shades of this growing that's still going on now. But at least the one from now, do you see a difference, or is there a difference to you?
Yeah, I see, like, a major difference than how I used to be back then. I feel like I would tell the old me, like, I don't know. Probably like.
What took us so long?
Right. Like, I don't know. I feel like I would have wanted to change, like, earlier in life, like, because, like, I used to be bad, y'all. Like, I'm not even about to hold y'all. I used to be bad. Like, I would probably tell her, like, calm down more, because she was bad.
Right. But that's good.
It's good you're conscious enough now to know that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we have to go through those little things just to know, how we messed up or how bad we were.
Exactly.
And man, one thing one thing I like about this, man, is this right here just shows you that if we take the time with our kids, our own kids, because if you look at the world today, like, kids is running crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so this just shows you if you take the time and you concentrate and you just stay on them. It ain't no, every other day thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay on them like 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And this just goes to show you that even if they rebel, you know what I'm saying, they can still be reached.
Yeah.
And by y'all not giving up, that's I commend y'all for that. I have 6 daughters myself. 6 daughters, and each of y'all remind me of my daughters because they all sing and dance and all that.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So, and they all went through their little growing process, their little attitudes. I'm going to do it with my 12-year-old right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I understand all this, you know what I'm saying? And that's how I know you have to constantly stay on them.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they need that attention.
Definitely. You know what it was funny? After we did the Steve Harvey show, Viviana, she said on the Steve Harvey show that she was going to drop kick me in my throat.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
She made the little joke or whatever, right? But it was real funny. Her dad called me, and he said, Vivi could have said something different. Because, some people may not understand, whatever. Shit, talking about drop kicking, they could think she violent. Right. You know what I mean? And so he said, she could have said, Fred worked us. And then he worked us some more. And then he worked us some more. And then we got tired and he kept on working us. And he kept working us, right? And I said, Mr. Carl. He said, yeah. I said, that's what she said.
Yeah.
He said, huh? I said, that's what she said. She said exactly what you said. But you talk like you.
Mm-hmm.
And she talked like her.
Exactly.
I said, we didn't get one negative comment about that because that's her saying, even though I was frustrated, I didn't give up. This is how I felt. Right. But she said, and he just paused and said, oh, okay. Right? But see, that's what you're saying is this. Like, a lot of parents and adults want to act like they thought at 12 and 13 and 14 how they think right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
They want their kids to be, forcing them to think how it took you to go through what you went through
to get
to
where
think
you at.
to get where you at.
Exactly.
But you want to punish them for not already being there, and they 2.5 years old and ain't even been to Disneyland but one time.
Exactly.
Right?
That's real.
So what I do is, being around it constantly, first of all, it's so dope, right? It constantly, I get a reminder every day. It keeps me so grounded and so humble. It's a blessing for me to be around them because it keeps you and reminds you when you was little, when you wanted to be something, how you felt. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
and that's
indeed.
why me and Dub work hard to bring the resources to a place where these resources ain't normally coming. The type of resources they getting ain't normally coming.
Right.
But they're so comfortable because we actually encourage their personalities, encourage how they are, and then find a way to use it in a song, in a show. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, see, how I am is cool and accepted, and that's what makes them so bomb.
Should I see y'all inspiration for the ladies? But I want to ask y'all this, K-Dub and Fred. Y'all could answer at different times. What is y'all motivation other than seeing Krayzie what you see? You know what I'm saying? But what motivated y'all? What inspired y'all to start this kind of situation and keep it going, even though sometimes it get hard and this and that? What keeps y'all floating on this, man?
Well, my motivation is that growing up in the ghetto, especially in Compton, it's like I've been in Compton all my life.
Right.
That's like being in Beirut on the front line all your life. And to see all the things that most of the women went through, I've been blessed enough to live long enough to where I seen when we were in school how they were, and then I see how they were as grown people.
Yeah.
So I see the transformation that they made. Some were good, but most of them were bad. Right. And I don't blame like them. It's like the society, and it's what we were taught and what we were going in. It's something that me and I call him Dr. Fred.
Okay.
And it's something that we say, it's not that they're at risk, they just underexposed.
I like that.
And it's like the exposure for me changed my life. Had I not been exposed to another world and totally different sides of life, I wouldn't have never known it. And I would have been stuck in the hood, in the ghetto, not really knowing nothing but that little 2 mile perimeter, that little square block right there, not really going too much or nowhere else. So my motivation was that, I'm like, okay, so if I can do it, I know other kids can do it. But if they don't have nobody to show them, then they won't know it. And just like, we said, that the resources that they get aren't the regular resources. So that's our blessing, to be able to have these extraordinary resources. And for me to have them and keep them to myself, they say all your blessings not designed for you.
Yeah.
So for me to keep them all to myself, that would be me being selfish and greedy. So I'm like, okay, I have all these resources and connections. Let me use it through them. Man. Let them shine. Let their light shine. Give them something to look forward to. And to me, had I had a gateway and a nice path to know that I would be successful and somebody was driving me to successful, a lot of things that I did, I wouldn't have done.
Right.
But because I didn't have that structure and that guidance and those people who were really rooting for me genuinely, so I made some bad turns. I made a lot of bad turns. Actually, I made bad turns, hit the wall, blew the car up, everything. I did all that. So for me to come through all that and then to be able to provide these resources and that to them, that's my motivation. And then the way that they accept it, the way that they embrace it, because they some little professionals.
Man,
feel me?
You're hearing it from G's. You got to have generals involved in this too. You know what I'm saying? Now, I think God does a mix. I'm right getting to you too, Fred. I got to hear that. But God do a mix of it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I really watched the story of Paul a lot. You know what I'm saying? That dude was a gangster for those types of days. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But God always can take somebody and be like, no, don't change your ways. I'm going to change your way you're going about this situation. Keep that ruggedness. Yeah. Notice don't mean we lay down because you take my ways and become humble and things like that. You know what I'm saying? You still become warriors. So
absolutely.
And with all that being said, man,
you,
with all that being said, like I said at the beginning, this just shows that it's way more in Compton and other urban communities throughout the world. You know what I'm saying? Like these girls' talent is undeniable. You know what I'm saying? So that just goes to show you that it is talent. It's diamonds in the rough. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? And man, we just got to stick to it. And one thing I just want to give y'all some advice as young girls, because like I said, I got 6 girls, so I feel like I'm qualified.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real qualification. You certified.
You know what I'm saying? As black people, we're always looked at as less. and as black women, it's even worse. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to always just stay strong and know who you are, and know that God look at you way more than you probably even look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? God always counts you way more than we do. You know, we beat ourselves up over things that God probably like, oh, that's old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk to him, G.
Right.
So just and all y'all have talent to do great things in this world. You know what I'm saying? And just stay away from drugs, because they push that to you. They push that on you. You know what I'm saying? And it just take your time growing up.
Right.
Grow up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no rush. Because trust me, when you get older, you be like, man, I wish I was still young.
Right.
It's about to be over. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, just take your time and enjoy your life. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, always give it all back to God. Always, because it wouldn't be possible. None of it.
That's some great advice. We got one more that just came in, Octavia.
Okay.
Come on, Octavia.
Yes, yeah, we gotta talk to her too. We got plenty of time.
Right.
Yes, indeed.
The strong teenager, the strongest girl.
How old are you,
world.
Octavia?
I am 15.
15. Right. That's what's up. Talk to us. You on Truth Talk. Talk with us.
So
how
did,
oh yeah. Go ahead.
You the host.
How has being affiliated with the Compton Kidz Club changed your life?
Compton Kidz Club has really changed my confidence, because it's made me realize that, like, if I aspire to do things, that I can do it. Like, before this, like 2 years ago, you could never ask me to, like, do something new, and then I'd be like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, I would just be like, I don't know about that, because, but it's helped me to experience new things and understand that just because we're, the minorities in the world, it doesn't mean that we have to stay that way. Like, we can achieve things that we want to achieve if we just go for it and not just be scared to fail or scared to not look good in front of your friends or something. And so it's just really shown me that things are worked for, and you can't just sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to be something. No, you have to work for it. You're going to fail, and your confidence may be shot sometimes, but in the end, you're going to be successful because you tried for it and you didn't just sit back.
Truth talks.
Man, that's what's happening.
Truth talks. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, indeed. I like that, man. I like
one
that.
thing I do want to know from you guys, too, is one of y'all can answer this type of thing, too. As youth, how do you view the youth? Do you see the youth as, like how maybe a lot of, because there's this unseen gap between, I guess the more mature people, whatever it is, older people, younger people, whether it's in the church or if it's in hip-hop music, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. It's a bridge between the age difference or whatever it is. But how do you see the youth? How do you guys see the youth? Is it troublesome to you guys, or is it hopeful? Y'all look at the youth and see hope, or are they going to turn around things, or how do you look at that? Anybody can answer that if y'all want to.
Definitely. I think nowadays, like, everyone's too scared to be themselves. They're too scared to do something different, to be outside of the box. But I see a lot of hope. Like, I'll look around, like, at my classmates sometimes and be like, oh my gosh, like, you're going to be like a really good actor. You're so funny. You're going to be a comedian. And I just like, I see potential in like everyone that I meet, and I'm like, we could really be great. But then I see like the stuff that they do, and I'm like, oh, stop acting like that. Like, please be you and don't be scared or sorry about it.
Right.
I think because everyone's just on the same thing. Like, I'll talk to people and I'm like, I just talked to somebody different, but both of y'all are like the same kind of, like, everyone acts the same, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Social world.
That's
Man,
real.
well put, though.
And it's the famous.
Yeah.
Man, this is like I say, this is very inspiring. It needs to be done more. It has to be done more. If we're gonna save our kids, it has to be. This has to be done. This time has to be taken. I think more people should have programs like these.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Geared towards our communities. Just educating and informing and teaching like your program, like you teach you teach not only music, but you teach them life skills.
Right, life skills.
You know, because you can't do nothing in life if you don't have life skills.
Right.
That has to come first and foremost before you can even attempt to do anything else.
Exactly.
You know, and you got to know who you are and where you're going. So, man, we commend y'all for everything y'all doing, man. You know,
thank you, bro. Appreciate
it's really
that.
It's really a blessing for them to have somebody that really cared to even stick with it this long, especially for where y'all come from. Where y'all come, y'all could have got caught up in the hood,
right,
and been negative on the younger generation. But y'all chose. We all got a choice,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So, and y'all chose to go and use your lives to help people. So, God is definitely gonna bless you for that, brother.
And I want to say, when you say we need more programs like this, that. You know, I can't go in depth, but, you know, we just did a presentation with a few of them with some very influential people on the West Side. And after that presentation, they're sending me a proposal to put Compton Kidz Club West Side, looking at getting a whole nother building.
That's dope.
Because they're saying, you know, the kids over here are under-resourced, and you're achieving this with them. These kids on the West Side are over-resourced, and we're missing it.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So we want to put Compton Kidz Club and have you guys come here, and not only that, we had a group of like 60 kids from Orange County come to Compton, and change their whole perception on what they think Compton is. They were sending me emails the next day saying, "Can we come back to Compton?"
Yeah, with the parents.
With the parents, and usually that would be, "No, you can't go to Compton," but they're asking, can we go to Compton? And now they've made friends with a lot of those kids. We had a couple of them in the studio with us the other day. So that's happening. And also, they're taking a trip to Aspen in about a month or so.
Oh, that's right.
And they are becoming the face of climate change and different social justice issues.
Yes.
You know, had a meeting yesterday. There's this app that's coming out. They're going to be the face of this brand new app that's coming out. So when you talk about more things like this in other places, that's in the works where they're going to lead those charges.
Yeah, your talent will make room for you.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds real good, man. It's a wonderful thing. So I can see a lot of people wanting to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a great program, you know, and anybody that's serious, you know, about their life and smart enough like these young ladies were, you know, then they're definitely going to want to get a part of it, man. So once again, I commend y'all, man. It's a wonderful thing. This is a wonderful thing.
Great
thank
show,
you,
man.
Yes,
Yo, I got to definitely pause and, you know what I'm saying, say thank you to my man Cocaine and to my man John Payne, too, for introducing me to UK Dub. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Y'all through
Yes,
the
sir.
spot.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? And
Yes,
Fred,
sir.
because without those cats, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't even,
Wouldn't
you know what I'm saying,
even
cross
made
these
sense
paths
like
that
that.
day, you know?
Exactly.
So, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to those guys right there, man. JP here, you know what I'm saying? But Cocaine, whatever it is you're doing, you know what I'm saying? When you hear this, for sure, man.
Much
keep
love,
it up, man.
Coca-Cola. That's my guy, man. You know what I'm
Good
saying?
cat
We
from
got
Pomona.
decades in it.
Yeah, man.
So where could listeners go to like find out like more about the whole program and
Where can the listeners go to find out about the program?
Instagram at Compton Kidz Club, YouTube Compton Kidz Club as well.
And that's Compton Kids with a Z.
Z.
Okay.
Compton
With a Z.
KIDZ
there it is.
Club.
Man.
And the song that we did, the I'll Fight song, is available on all your, you know, iTunes.
Oh, yeah,
Spotify.
Y'all need to check that song out.
Oh,
it's
man.
a very, very powerful song. Definitely.
Man,
very
they be at
powerful.
rallies and everything.
Tell them the name of it again.
I'll Fight.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
I'll Fight Compton Kidz Club with Jennifer Hudson and Diane Warren.
Man. Thank y'all for coming by, man, for taking time out to come by here and talk to us.
Yes.
Man. Really appreciate it. Very uplifting. I wish y'all young ladies the best of luck in everything y'all do. We will be following you, know what I'm saying,
Thank
keeping
you.
track, seeing what's going on. And y'all welcome to come back here anytime you want to. Whenever you're doing something, want to promote anything, man, we got you.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
thank
we
you.
family
It's all
now.
love.
And
It's all
thank you for having us, fam. Keep
It's all
G,
like y'all have any
Krayzie, man. We
shows,
appreciate
just make sure I got
y'all.
some tickets to come see y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be there, for real. It's going down.
Well,
Yeah.
we heard that there might be some interest in Compton Kidz Club and Krayzie doing the song together. I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
just
Oh,
what I heard.
Yes,
well, I'm
yes.
letting you know. Yes, it is. Let's make it happen.
That's 100%
Let's
right
make it
there.
happen,
Yes,
for
sir.
sure. Yes, indeed.
Right.
Let's do it, man.
Y'all heard that, Radio World.
Yes,
I
indeed.
got to do that, man. That's a
We
must
listen
right
for
there,
it.
man.
Man, man, we appreciate y'all having us, bro. Keef G, Krayzie, man. It's so much love, man, and appreciate y'all hospitality, open up the doors for us family,
man.
Giving us this opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to spread this word that we trying to do, because, you know, City of Compton, man, we're really trying to lift it up. You know, they had a bad light on us. We turning the light on right now.
Yes, indeed.
But it's a good light, not a bad light.
You know what? It reminded me of these one time these one cats, they was sweating my Lord and say, man, what good thing was something good can come out of Nazarene?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know,
Right.
it's like that kind of situation.
It's
It's just
come out of Compton.
Can something good come from out there? You know, and coincidentally, I was born over there, but in Dominguez Valley Hospital a long time ago. They tore it down now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I stayed there for a little stint. But I love have just whatever I was there for at that moment. That was cool right there. You know, because I love the place. I hated always to see it just be known for what it's known for. You know what I mean? But everybody got those kinds of things, and it's good. You know, we got good and we got the bad thing. The good Lord gonna make sure it shine through. So
that's right.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Yes, indeed, everybody. We thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Truth Talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm Krayzie Bone.
I am the California Bum Keef G.
And remember, the truth is always talking. You just gotta listen.
Listen.
Peace.
Yeah.